Hello and welcome back to the Spiritual Warrior Training Series. I wanted to come back in here today. Today's day 3, so welcome. I wanted to share a few tips and ideas on how to spot where you're holding yourself back, because this is part of the problem. I kind of mentioned this yesterday, was that usually what happens is when we go to share our gifts, when we go to share who we are and speak our truth, we tend to hold back pieces of ourselves. We tend to not speak as loudly. We don't want to take up the space. There's all of these fears that we've had within ourselves that were trained patterns that we've created over the years that we become completely unaware of. It's usually tied to fears, like I mentioned, past pain, limiting beliefs, things that have happened in our life that we've had to shrink, we've had to hold ourselves back, or there was judgment that we couldn't show up truly as ourselves for a variety of reasons, either when we were young or as we progress through different experiences in our life. From past memories, we've decided that we can't speak our truth for whatever way, shape, or form. So I want you to start paying attention to, there are some times where we notice, where we already know where we are shrinking, we're holding ourselves back, we're playing small, and we're not quite sure either one, how we're not aware of how we are doing it, like what's that holding us back. For me, I know it felt like there's this invisible wall that was holding me back, and I just wanted somebody to point that out. And sometimes this is why we can't do this alone. We can't, if we're on this journey together, this will give us a really great opportunity to then see each other as a mirror and be able to notice the places where we're holding back. And what might that look like for you? Like I said, it's not speaking your truth, not sharing your gifts, knowing you have a gift that you're here to give to this world. And you're like, I don't know if I could share it. I don't know if people are going to understand it. I don't know if they're going to really, truly feel it. You feel like, that you are powerful, but you're not quite sure how to put it across. Saying yes to yourself also may mean no, which means we may have to say no to some things. Another way of playing small is by letting all of these other things in our life take over, and we're like kind of get distracted by all the things, and we're busy, and we haven't made ourselves a priority, and all of these things. So saying yes to you might mean saying no to other things, and we are people pleasers by nature, right? So we don't want to share from that perspective, or we don't want to put somebody else's ideas, or we don't want to give up on all of these other priorities in our life that we feel like are taking up our life. And then again, there's also this piece of avoiding action out of fear of failure, or fear of rejection. That is a pattern or a program we've created in our life over the years. And so there's these things that we need to start healing. First of all, we need to become aware, because sometimes, like I said, we may not even be aware of these patterns and what's holding us back. Like I said, for me, it was about that invisible wall. And if I just had somebody to point it out, and that's what I would love to do for you. So I do have an opportunity where I've been doing this for a while, but I do it an intuitive healing session. And this helps just give you awareness to where specifically you need to do the work, what's showing up. And it's not about shaming you, or there's no judgment here at all. This is all your choice. You get to choose to shift. But you're feeling that call for more. You're feeling that I'm here to make a bigger impact. You're feeling that for a reason. So usually we tend to hide behind the place that we feel the most resistance. When we are in the place that has the most discomfort is usually the place that brings us the most power. So when we get into that feeling, and that's what I do through the intuitive session, is we do it in a very gentle way. I also do that through our Sacred Shift program. But in a very gentle way, we invite that healing in. So how do these intuitive healing sessions help? Again, it helps us, one, so you have a safe space to explore what else is going on there. And so, there's absolutely no judgment here. It helps release stuck energies. Sometimes we have stories that we've built so much a pattern around that we are unaware of them, like I said, or there's just so much resistance to it that we set it over here because that's super uncomfortable. And it helps you to have clarity and confidence. And once you have somebody that gives you that, and it's not about needing validation, but it's helping to recognize and understand. Because sometimes even when we talk, we are so used to the conversations that we have in our own head or the way we express things, we don't even notice it when we're actually speaking our truth or we're speaking the story that's holding us back. So I want to give you a couple action steps here. I want you to write down one area you know you're holding yourself back. So ask yourself and trust your intuition in this process. What am I afraid will happen if I fully show up in this space? And what's possible if I do it anyway? Sometimes, usually, the fears that hold us back are the things that, like I said, are the most powerful. But sometimes it's where there's a fear about something that may not even, it's just a fear that we've created in here, and it's not something that will actually, like, are you gonna, is it gonna cause life and limb? Is it gonna, are you gonna die? Like, sometimes the fears are so ingrained, we don't even put light on them so that we can become aware of what that fear truly, like, what's underlying that fear. Like, if we really examine it and put light on it, is it really something that's gonna make a bigger impact? Remember, you are not in this alone. This is why we rise together. And again, just being in a collective of people in a community where you connect with other people in the same journey, this is where we become mirrors to each other. So that's why I offer these intuitive healing sessions. One, so you have a safe space, like I mentioned, as well as an opportunity to share in a space that feels good for you. And to have someone mirror back just what you're sharing and what you're saying so that you can help others. Anyway, that's it for today. I think that's enough actions for today. So go back, ask yourself some of these questions that are holding you back, and become aware. Allow the awareness to surface. Trust your intuition and trust what shows up. And if you want some support, if you want somebody to help you with that, that's what I'm here for. Anyway, have a beautiful day. I also wanted to note that I do those sessions virtually or in person. So drop me a message and we will connect and I will help you with that. So let's rise together and have a beautiful day. We'll talk again soon. Take care.